Here's Johnny.
Say something, man. Any people in church in here? Anybody that does church in here? Go to church every Sunday? I need y'all to pray that my baby mom has sex with Charlie Sheen with no condom. I'm tired of it, man. It don't make sense for somebody to take a shot to the coochie and get $600 a month. Can I at least get my oil changed sometime?
Welcome to Rod and Sensor Podcast. I'm your host, Rod and Sensor. I know you was looking at my thing, like my video, like, wow, what is that? But that's me. You know what I mean? Like old Dirty Bastard said, you can't follow Rod and Sensor style. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. The audience look like they liked it too.
Yeah, you know, hopefully.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine, man.
Okay. I said the audience looks something like it too.
Hope so. Oh yeah, they love that set. Like I've just been really since last time we talked. You know what I mean? Me and Rufus talk. You know, time to time. You know, I don't like bothering niggas. You know what I mean? Excuse my language. I don't like bothering people, but I ask the questions. You know what I mean? I feel like men fellowship is important, man. Just to have a conversation with another man about certain things and get their point of view. You know what I mean? I think that's very important. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you a sucker to get a second opinion.
I always want to know what people think. I always want to know. That's for sure. It's always good to get. You don't want to be around thinking you know everything. It's always something you can learn, no matter what. Even if you learn what not to do. You can always learn something, you know what I mean?
And you know what I mean? And that was important, man. We just recently talked about the situation I'm going through. What I got banned from a state theater because, you know what I mean, somebody thought I was aggressive and about how I was speaking it. My joke. And you know what I mean? It was hard to swallow the day of, but I could see why somebody would take me serious. Because I didn't have a smile on my face. You know what I mean? It was not really sweet. It was pure hot sauce. And it felt like a rant. When I looked at it again, it felt like a rant. You know what I mean? Or a lecture. Yeah. You know what I mean? So but sometimes people don't understand, man. This comedy game is real hard because people talk in the audience, it can really piss you off, and you don't want to go too hard and tell somebody shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because then you damn if you do, you get banned again. So it's an open mic scene. It's hard to really maneuver to keep people happy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
But man, how's your journey been going, man?
Good. Cool. Well, good. It's good. I don't do the open mics as much as I want to because I don't get a whole lot from it. I don't know, man. I think it's just me. I don't get like excited for them for some reason. So it's a couple bigger spots out here in Arizona, like probably 2 or 3 spots that are like the bigger places where it's like a big 60, 70, 80 people crowd like every time. And it's always full and packed, you know. So I literally, instead of the open mics, what I do, I just work on my stuff. Like if it's an open mic I can go to tonight, I just like won't go. I'll just write more and I work on my stuff and I'll practice. So when I do, I'm able to go to those places, I'm ready, you know, because a lot of the open mics don't really work for me. I like them, but they don't usually work for me. So I don't get to do them as much. So I only get to do them like probably like once a week, something like that. I know most people probably go every day if they can.
No, I don't go there. I go once a week. One week I took off. The previous week I took off. Not that the week before that I took off the whole week off just to get creative and come up with some jokes. Sometimes I just needed to just
Good.
sit down. I don't know, sit down, think about some things, and try
I
to
got
see what some ideas I can come up with. Um, so I took 1 week off from it. Last week I had two mics. I went to one mic I got banned from. The other mic I'm still good to go. So
you.
so I had two mics. So now this
They're
week
gonna
I'm
want you
only gonna
back.
do
They're gonna want you back. Watch.
yeah. So you know what I mean. So one mic I'm probably go to this week because I want to do some shit around the house.
Yeah.
I gotta get my car fixed this week, so I don't got time. Too much time.
I got you. I meant to ask you a question when we talked briefly, like when you're writing, what makes you throw something out? Like if you're writing and be like, you know what? Nah, that ain't gonna work. What makes
What
you throw
makes
something?
me What makes me throw something out?
What
Um,
makes you get rid of something? Like, you're writing and it's good, you think it's good. Because I'm like a little dilemma. Like kind of two questions. Like what makes you throw something out? And then if you're trying to do like a 5 minute set, or so like a 3 minute set, and it's good and it's like 3 minutes and 40 seconds, like how do you decide what to throw out?
like I tried shit out the open mic. Like I had this whole joke about my grandma, right? And I used the
Oh,
parallel
oh,
from today to now, right?
yeah,
But I felt it, but I didn't feel it. Like I didn't feel like it was enough to really build on to a 5 minute set. Like I
mm,
saw when I did it at the open mic, I said, yeah, I probably got like 2 minutes of this. So I don't have to figure a way to really tie everything together. Like I had a thing where I said I didn't have to worry about my grandma twerking. You know what I mean? I didn't have to worry about them things like that. My
it's
grandma's
true,
hobbies were bingo, listen to the police scanner, uh,
right?
cooking
That's number
supper
one.
before 4 p.m. That was her hobbies. But I know my grandma was a saint because she had 13 kids.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So that was the whole joke, but I didn't feel like it was enough to really. It's so much meat that I had to really take a long time to really build it all the way up. You know what I mean?
Cool, cool.
But it's a lot of stuff that I feel like it could be more. You know what I mean? You could build more, but I don't
Yeah,
have the time to. I'm trying to like. I'm not trying to build too much, right? Where I feel like it's going. That's like a
yeah,
story. I don't want too many stories. I want like jokes. You know what I mean? So like I had this.
yeah, yeah.
So it's hard
That's
between
my
the.
downfall.
I got like you gotta be realistic. You might get 5 minutes. You know what I mean? That's not enough time for a story. I think my stories like I look at storytellers like Ali Sadiq. If you ever watched him, his shit's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's just like movies, but punch, 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 punch. I don't have stories like that where it's like punch,
yeah,
punch. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm trying to
He
keep
don't
it
even
short and
tell
sweet.
jokes. He don't even tell jokes. He just all stories.
It's all stories. So I keep my shit like
You
White
said what?
Castle.
Oh,
I
you
keep
broke
my shit
up.
like White Castle.
Short and sweet.
Small but you can
Savory.
yeah, savory, small but savory. Like because it's a lot to develop them kind of long
Yeah,
story jokes,
savory.
man. Like that's how I came up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. It's funny because
what you say? Go ahead.
go ahead.
I know what you was about to say.
No, I
My
was saying
fault.
that's how it's funny because I default to storytelling. Like
Mm,
that's kind of like the only way I can think of jokes because everything that happens in my life is like something funny about it. So I'm always
mm.
ready to tell what happened and make it funny. I can tell jokes. I got a couple of jokes I can just tell, but I default to storytelling. But the only thing I think about storytelling, like in the beginning, I think, especially where I'm at, you've been doing a little bit longer than me. Where I'm at, I think I have to. I think I got to learn how to put more punches in there
Yeah,
because
that's
I have a good build up. I have a good build up, and my joke won't come to like 50 seconds. So that's kind of like a long time, but it'll hit hard, but it'll still be like 50 seconds before my joke comes in. So I'm trying to learn how to try to hit like another joke or two within that first minute. Like at least get two good punches in that first minute, you know.
And
to learn how to, just tell
that's the
jokes.
hard part. That's the hard part, man. What's somebody gonna take that's gonna be funny, man? And it's definitely, that's why I like feedback, man. I get a lot of feedback from my homeboys. I talk to people, I'm like, yo, that is non-comedians and some comedians. I'm like, I give out like a premise. I throw a premise out, like, yo, like my new premise right now, the difference from sex in your 30s and in your 20s, right? So I'm giving all kind of like, I'm just talking about the different preparation because you working, you know what I mean? In your 30s, you're like, nah. Yeah. It depends what kind of health
or
you
your 40s.
have, you know what I mean? Or in your 40s, right? Yeah. So I'm working on that premise right now and writing it down. Like
you'll get that one easily. You'll get that one easily because you've been through it. So you'll get that one easy. Because all you gotta do is go to a time when something happened, and go to a time when something happened in your 30s.
And I'm putting like a lot of like self-deprecation. Like, man, I kind of like, I sweat a lot, so I wear a t-shirt during sex. You know what I mean? So I'm adding all kind of little bit of like stuff to it.
Man.
Like, so I'm just building on stuff like that, man. I'm just
how long is the set?
Working. I'm gonna try to make that. I'm gonna try to make that at least 4 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna try to just add shit to it.
That's solid.
But that's what I'm just trying to do. Make sure I keep on writing solid fives, and then next you know I might have 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and I could just intertwine just the jokes together. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get to the level of.
How much time jokes do you think you have, like overall? Like, do you think you can go out there and do like a 30-minute set of jokes?
Nah, probably like 10.
Do you think now, are you saying you can't do it, or are you saying you don't have the material to do it? Like, do you have enough material to do 30 minutes worth?
I don't think so. Not like
you think you have enough material?
I think I would have to be like it's like I'll take comedy like pitching, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could throw the fastball for like a couple innings, but like inning number 3, you gotta get me out of the game. 5 or 4, you gotta get me out of the game. My game, I'm throwing screwballs and dirt balls after that. You know what I mean? So that's how I look at comedy. You gotta just make sure you can still get the laughs, and that's the difficult part. Like, what I find funny might not be funny, and that is all. It's like art, man. Some people see something different when you look at a painting. Some people think Mona Lisa is just a bronze hill in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I've heard that before. That is true. Realistically, in my opinion, if you're funny and you think something funny, if you think something is funny, more than likely it is funny. You know what I mean? It is funny because you just have to get, in my opinion, I think you just have to be in the right crowd or the right people with your kind of sense of humor. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm saying. That don't mean I don't think it's ever like not funny. I think it may be not as funny as other stuff you have, but it's still going to be funny. You just got to find the right crowd. You know what I mean? Or the right delivery. That's important too. I learned that the hard way.
And you talk, you know what I mean, at least once a month, maybe twice a month. And your theories of having jokes for prime time and when you're a big person to when you're a small time has really been helping me. Because it changed my pen right now where I'm like, I'm staying away from them jokes. Like, I'm staying away from them jokes for right now. Just for right now, I'm staying away. It's like going to the bad neighborhood, and you know you live in the suburbs now. Like, I gotta stay away from that. You know what I mean? They don't got no good content. So I've just been doing that, man. I'm writing a lot of relationship jokes.
Yeah.
That's gonna be my basis right now. I'm not touching no shock comedy
Just
right
be
now.
ready.
Even
Yeah,
though
just
I got
be ready for this.
some abortion jokes I like to try, I'm gonna leave them alone.
I bet you do. Even the one, remember the one I sent you like probably like 2-3 weeks ago. I sent it to you on Messenger. Remember you said you need to open it, and I was like, and I sent that to you. It was like a long joke. It was like something like that. You got to be like ready to say, like, you know what I mean? It's like time. You know, you can't just go off through, because like on that one of Dave Chappelle's new ones, he's talking about like some like paraplegic or something like that, or like somebody in a wheelchair at an orgy, and like he got done. It was like the artist was like, man, but it's Dave Chappelle, so they still loved it. You know what I mean? That's all it be. He's got to.
You know what I mean?
I guess
I'm
you
selling
gotta make him love
Fanta
you.
now. I'm selling Fanta now.
Huh?
I'm selling
Yeah.
Fanta. I'm not.
You gotta make him love you. You gotta make him love you first. I think you gotta
Sweet
make him love you
laughs. That's
first.
all I want. Sweet laughs.
Yeah.
Or a Fago. I go to cheap route. Give him a Fago cotton candy for $1.09. Like, I'm not trying to go anything crazy.
Yeah, we're on the same boat. I hold a lot. I hold a lot of stuff. I hold a lot of jokes in too. I still throw some out there. I still throw stuff out there. Just depending on how the crowd act, and if they like. And then, of course, a lot of times I start out with letting people know I'm a motivational speaker, so that kind of puts them on my side from the beginning. You know, they're kind of on my side from the beginning. I'm telling them I'm trying to motivate them. You know what I mean? I'll throw jokes in there. You know what I mean? And they usually land. You know, because I get them on my side. You know, if they're on your side, you know, just like, for example, if you're at work somewhere, there's some people at your job that like, so biased towards you. An artist will do the same thing. You know, they go like you just because of who you are first, and then the joke is funny enough, it's gonna land. From what I've seen.
And this practicing comedy, right? I feel like it's easy just to be normal. Just to say some slick shit. You know what I mean? Just because my mind continues going. So people like to just talk slick stuff, not just pop them off real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even knowing it. Like I don't know somebody. I'm a Patriot fan, right? I love the Patriots. So somebody said, "Oh man, your team is down and out this year." I said, "Yeah, my team down and out." I said, "Man, we still gonna sell out like the Commodores or the Osley brothers. It doesn't matter. Somebody always want to see the Osley brothers. So it's just some slick stuff. You know what I mean? So
and they 80.
like
they still gonna sell out.
Like Tom Brady might be gone, but the Osley brothers might be down and out, but somebody still can come see him. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I guess Ron Isley like 82, 83. They need their flowers, man. They've been doing music like 60 years, like 60, almost 70 years.
Multiple genres.
They got an album from 1959. I think it was like the first album. 159, not 69. I was like, man, I saw it like a couple years ago. I was like, man, like, yeah, they need some flowers for sure. More than anybody, probably.
But how important do you feel it is to have self-confidence in yourself?
So you say you have to. Well, first, before confidence, you have to like get rid of your nerves first. Like there's something that makes you nervous, because you could be nervous before confidence. Like, because you can do like a stand-up or a public speak. You can not have no nerves or confidence. You be in the middle, but more than likely you have like your nerves there. You got to get rid of the nerves first. If you get rid of the nerves first, where you're not even nervous, then you can build the confidence. Because you're not gonna build the confidence if you're still nervous. You're not gonna build it. So you gotta get rid of the nerves. Like, you know what? I got this. They all just like me. We all human beings. They come here and have a good time. I'm gonna try to tell these jokes. If they don't like them, life goes on. I'm gonna go write some more, and look at it as feedback, or look at it as because not a failure. You look at it as like feedback or like a lesson. Like, okay, instead of me getting mad or getting like embarrassed, like me when I bombed a couple times, and instead of being like upset about it, I'd be like, I should have said this, and I should have said that, or I should have waited before I said that, and now work on it. I'll never get mad. I don't ever get down. I just be like, I'm gonna go back. But you got to realize there is literally like billions of people that don't do what we do. Billions. that don't do what we do, and there's more billions that are terrified to be on stage. You know what I'm saying? So we already got the upper hand in a sense, where, you know what I mean, we're already doing what they're not doing, and then to tell jokes, that's a lot to go on the stage and then be forced to make people laugh. It's a lot, you know, it's a lot. But you got to get rid of your first before you can build confidence. You got to, for anything.
I think that's like important, man. And sometimes before I go up stage, I talk to myself. Like I do some self
smart
affirmations.
Yeah.
Rod, you know different, man. Just like talking on the corners with your uncles, talking about sports or just bullshitting. Just talking to myself. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. I just say them words a couple times to just mellow out, and I just go.
Yeah. You still get nervous a little bit?
I don't get nervous, but I get anxious. Like sometimes I catch myself. I see myself speeding past the stop sign, not stopping.
Yeah.
And that's like just giving the pause and letting them know that's the punchline, or that's the, you know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? Or sometimes I say some stuff that goes over people's head and I gotta re-say it. You know what I mean? Like I had a joke where I talk about, man, I don't cheat no more, man. I don't cheat no more on my wife and my current wife, you know what I mean? But back in the day I used to cheat, right? So I say, I said, man, I'm so much. Sometimes I just be in a poly relationship with myself, and I said, Pam,
a poly relationship.
Yeah, I pointed to my hands. I'm like, I be in a poly relationship, and this is Pam and Keisha.
Oh man, yeah, that's like solid, but that's gonna go over. That's gonna go over your head. Yeah.
So that's why I said
that's solid, but that's gonna go like this.
So it goes over people's heads. So I gotta say, Pam and Keisha. Total, can't you see? And I show my hands. So,
that's too much. Not too much, but people ain't ready for that. Not at a competition. That's something that's like a poetry, like a spoken word.
So
you know, so people waiting for that.
So so I had to sometimes like give some great value shit. I'm like, yo, that when I saw that went over people's heads, I said, yeah, I can't. I gotta be rapping like
what?
I said when that went over people's heads, I said, man, I gotta do it like Run DMC. They did nursery rhymes, you know what I mean? Everybody knows a Run DMC song because it's not really difficult lyric wise, you know what I mean? So
you gotta. I think with that one, because like I was telling you, I think it's a good joke. So if it's a good joke, just like restructure it a little bit and get it out so they catch it, because you don't want, because that's a really good joke. So you don't want to just like forget a joke because people don't get it. Like there's going to be crowds where people will catch it. There's going to, you know what I mean? And then there's going to be crowds where people won't catch it. You kind of like simplify it a little bit, like kind of set it up. Like, hey, you know what? I've having a lot of time on my hands and I've been having my laptop open. That's all I'll say. So they kind of get in their head, get kind of ready. And then when you say it, it kind of makes sense, you know, like some kind of setup, you know, but I won't get rid of it.
So I got like a lot of history jokes. I'm like, I got a lot of history jokes. I want to refine. Like, damn, what if Frederick Douglass really sent a hoe to Abraham Lincoln so everybody get free? You know what I mean? So jokes like that, like, damn, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking about this rewriting, like making history funny, because my dad always used to talk about history. He used to read about history from Buffalo Soldiers and all that shit. So I'm thinking about doing jokes like that. Just overall, just creates different stuff, like organic stuff, and, you know, the original stuff. That's my big thing is I want to be original, close as I can be.
Yeah. And that ain't, I remember you said you want to hit like a line drive. If you original, that's like a home run. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man. If you're not copying nobody, you're doing your own thing. You're gonna make it. It's because you're not gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't stopping, you got this going, you got the comedy going, you stay focused. It's just a matter of time. You know, it's inevitable. You know,
and that's why I talk. Go ahead.
No, what do you say? That's what you talk to?
I talked about people about this. Overall, I'm just been like dreaming big, man. Like
Yeah, thank you.
we're all on. You know what I mean? I know I started late, but I'm dreaming big. I want to do next year possibly. I want to have my own little local show. Um, I just want to dream big. You know what I mean? And do
Yeah,
things
exactly.
to
Thank you. Appreciate that.
get yeah,
For
get to
real.
the place where I can submit my legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
My dad might have been hot headed in his early 20s, but look, he changed his life around. Look what he did.
exactly.
This,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
That's what kind of, you know what I mean? That's kind of mode I'm on right now.
Yeah, forget all that small stuff. You did small stuff first 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not. I'm like, man, I gotta get it. I woke up one day like, wait a minute, I can do that. And I can do that.
Mm.
And I can do that. And that. And I just started doing everything. Literally, like one day, I just started doing everything. I was like, man, forget all that. You gotta go for it, man. Especially if you already on the path and you already started doing stuff. You know what I mean? It's like ain't nobody stopping you, ain't nobody making a rule. There's no rule book saying you can't do something. There's enough out there for everybody. It just comes down to creativity and time. If you're creative enough and got time to work on it, then that's all everybody's ever did. Every comics ever did. They was creative enough, funny, and they had the time to do it. That's literally it. Nothing more, nothing less. You know what I mean? So you creative, you got time. That's it.
That's what I've been
You know?
trying to do, man. And just standing
Yeah.
on it and believing. Like that's
Yeah.
sometimes you be your own hater.
Yeah.
You be your own hater, not even
Yeah. You
know it.
gotta talk to yourself more. You got man, forget that ain't real. You gotta know that those are just thoughts. You gotta know that those are just like, well, let me give me a second real quick. You gotta know that those are just like thoughts. You know what I mean? They're just thoughts. That's it. If you think you can't do something, they're just thoughts. That's it. It's nothing more to it because you have evidence that you can do it. Like you've done stand up, you started a podcast, you made a crowd laugh, you killed a crowd before. So that's like your evidence saying that you can do it. Anything else is just thoughts. Something I say with two things. I did this might help you and help anybody else that's listening. Is that I was telling my wife recently, like whenever you have these thoughts, I look at it like that's just thoughts in the universe and they're just passing through me. And it's my turn to feel them and they go away. Like if I'm feeling nervous or if I'm feeling like I got ADHD and it's like really bad. So I'll get really overwhelmed real easy. So if I know a feeling is coming, I'm about to get overwhelmed, I'll literally sit there and let it hit me and I'll be like, that's just overwhelmed. It's gonna pass through me in just a minute. And I'll just sit there and wait for it to pass through me and it'll go and I'll get back to my day. Like I don't embrace it. I'll recognize it like, hey, there it is. Okay, I'm nervous. I'm overwhelmed. I'm a little scared, whatever. Okay, that's fine. And I'll let it go. I say basically they're in the universe and it's my time to feel it. And it goes right through me. Just like that, and I'll be good.
Mhm.
That's what I'll say before I go on stage. If I get a little nervous, I'll be like, that's just all part of it. I'm going on stage. I'm gonna get a little nervous. Once I go to the stage, it's gonna go through me and I'm gonna be on stage and I'm good. And that's what happens every time. I literally label it like it's just an emotion like outside that just comes through me and then leaves. So I don't claim it and say like I am nervous or I am scared or I am this. I say it's just a feeling that's going through me. That's it. And
And that's
that's
good.
something that if you try to do that, I think that's something that might help you. That's something that help you for sure. You don't want to embrace it. Say it again.
I think that's really important, man, to get to that level, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. That confidence, like you were saying a minute ago, like you get rid of the nerves. You get rid of the nerves, then that opens up the gate to build the confidence. Once you gotta get rid of the nerves first, though. It's the first thing. First thing.
And that's why I was talking to somebody too. I talked to my man Stoney Williams on my podcast today, and he was telling me why did you why how did you get to the point of want to try the competition? I said, man, I had no expectations for the competition. I only saw the competition as I thought it could be for me. Exposure.
Oh, you
Um,
did it? You did a competition?
yeah, I did a competition.
Oh, how long ago?
August 29th, I did a competition.
Oh, I see that. Did you post it?
Yeah, that's the one where I said let's
Oh,
pray. I had to I sent all the links out.
Oh,
But
I didn't know that was a competition. Oh, okay,
yeah, with me with the hat on, that was me in the
okay. No, I
competition.
saw it. I didn't know that it was a competition.
Yeah, it was a competition.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was just a
So
stand up.
no, it was just a
Where'd you
competition.
place?
I didn't place at all, but I didn't place at
Okay.
all. But
It's all good.
I got a lot of laughs. So I took that as one. It's a different crowd. I've never been in. It was 75 people there. A lot of people don't
That's a
see
lot.
75 people on the regular. So
That's a nice
to get
crowd.
nice crowd. You know what I mean? Most
Yeah.
I've ever seen probably maybe 15, 20. So 75 people in the
That's a big
crowd.
difference. Was you feeling it? Was you feeling nervous?
I did, and
The big crowd.
I saw somebody bomb there, and that made me even more nervous. I said, "Man, I gotta start off hot." Like I always believe in starting off hot, getting a cheap laugh. I know that's not
Yeah.
everybody's cup of tea, but I like to get a cheap laugh to make myself feel good. You know what I mean? To keep on going. So I
Yeah.
did my joke about this feet and just. So I did a joke about feet and recipes and stuff like that. That was my whole premise of my joke. Also, I had a joke about me growing up in special ed, you know what I mean, and no kid left behind and stuff like that,
I
right?
don't know.
And the crowd went wild. They said, man, and then I brought up a little bit of urban about lead paint. I remember back in the day, people used to eat lead paint. I said, man, maybe I like feet because maybe I like feet because I used to eat lead paint. So like everything landed, and people was like, "Oh my god!" Like, so did this to get the experience and see veterans there that were a couple years more than me come up to me and say, "I like your set for you only doing this since April." So that this to see what the vets say and people from the crowd coming up to me and ladies, oh man, what my toes? My toes suckable? Nah, man, I'm married. You know what I mean? This overall with the crowd playing along with my jokes was great. You know what I mean? So I would do it again, but it had to be a right competition, man. Because I believe in exposure and marketing yourself.
Yeah. How did you feel about that crowd though, as far as the size of the crowd? Like how'd you feel about like how'd you maintain your composure and everything? Like how'd you keep your cool? Or did you keep your cool?
I really I don't know, might sound crazy. But I look at the crowd like and look at my neighborhood or something. I try to make it like I don't know, not a delusion, but what's that thing called? What's that shit in the desert called?
Oasis?
You know how people see shit in the desert, but it's not really there? What's that shit called? Oh fuck.
Yeah, I can't think of it. Not illusion. I don't know.
But anyway, you know how people see things in the desert and like it's not really there. Illusion, whatever it's called, right? I did that and it took me back to my neighborhood. And I just looked at the crowd like that to really just keep on going.
That's a good.
And
that's a good one.
You know, sometimes you gotta hypnotize your own self, man. With this affirmations.
Yeah, what I do, I literally just I just look at like 2 or 3 people because I don't tell myself it's like a big group, like if it's a group of 60, 70 people, like I won't say it's a group of 60, 70 people. I'll just or if it's a group of 60, I'll just say it's 60 individuals. That's what I tell myself. So that way I keep them all separate. So it's not like it's a group together because they're not all together. They all came separate. So that's what eases my mind. I'm like, it's one person here, one person there, so I can talk to them all separately. You know what I mean? And that kind of keeps it. That's how I keep my cool.
You know what I mean? To get it from like somebody that actually paid for the show and said, "You did a great job. I thought you should have won," or came second place. It rubs your ego to the next level. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going crazy for my sister and her boyfriend to come home. Man, Rod, you know what I mean? Like, it was funny, man. Because it's
Yeah.
not when you come from communities that nobody tried this
Yeah.
or
Thank
thought
you.
about trying it, it is
Yeah.
different, man. It's different.
Yeah.
And when
For
I
sure.
moved when I was moving around in my little town and just jokes and I found out we had a mic in a little place called Haverty Grace and it was a guy before me that did it was 12 plus years and I'm like, damn, I never knew it was a circuit out here. Cause my mind was always wondering,
Yeah.
wow, but I always used to say funny crap, you know what I mean? I used to always find some kind of humor out of anything. I mean, from
Yeah.
somebody slipping and falling, and I say, damn, you know, that man twerk. Any little thing to get a laugh, I used to get to.
It's always something.
There's always something that you can laugh about. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
I
For
start
sure.
and you know what I mean, got that encouragement, it was everything, man. Sometimes you need to
Yeah.
you want people to see I'm not just doing this just to be different. I'm doing this because I like to do it. You know what I mean? I
Heck
enjoy
yeah.
it. And
Fun.
I tell everybody comedy's been really my therapy. And a lot of things that I write about, it used to give me pain. Now I can find some kind of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah. And if it's coming from the heart, if it's real, then it's only up. You don't even go up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Authenticity is everything with it. Because you don't. Because the good thing about when it's authentic and it's like something about your life, it's something that you truly went through. You don't even really have to remember the lines. You can just go up there and just talk because you went through it. Like because a lot of like the last two sets I did, I didn't even write the last 2-3 minutes because it was like true stories that I went through. So I was just telling a story and hitting them with jokes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. That's why
authenticity is everything. That's for
and
sure.
I had a whole joke about my premise about what heaven really looks like, right? And I
I was
always
thinking about
say
that today. That's funny.
I said, man, I still can see the people that I love, right? I get to
Yeah.
see the people I love, but I don't want to be too fancy where I don't feel comfortable. If I grew up with white walls, I grew up with white walls in a small apartment. I want to go back to that.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I
Maybe
don't
it's
want to.
whatever you feel it is. I always thought that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I said, man, the only thing I want to do, I want to get back from my grandma for smacking me with a roach on her hand. So I want to press charges on my grandma. So that's a whole little wild joke. And I just talk about, man,
Oh,
hopefully it's like you still get your memory and stuff like that. So I write things where it's important to really start thinking and keep people on the mindset of we all on borrowed time. You got to go hard every day. Because, you
yeah.
know what I mean?
For real. For real. I don't know if I'll say it. I used to always think, I used to be like, I was like, what if heaven is like, you just walk around like, and it's just like an orgasm the whole time you're there. Like the whole time you're there, it's just an orgasm. Like you're just shaking the whole time. I was like, I think that's probably what heaven's like. Because what's the best feeling living on earth? What's the best
Yeah.
physical feeling on earth? You know what I'm saying? Like realistically, that's just real. You know, that's like the ultimate goal to get there. So I was like, wait a minute, it's probably the whole time you're there. That's what you feel. Like, you know, I really thought that from when I was younger. I really thought that. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, that's probably what it's like. What else would be heaven? What else would be heaven?
Yeah,
Oh man,
I just,
that's good though, man. Good.
I'm just been embracing it, man, enjoying it, man. And like I said, man, your words, man, encouragement. This, you know, what I mean, just the little side conversations are needed, man. I appreciate you, man, and I wish we could have more people
Easy. All day.
that more people could
It's me,
talk
man.
like, you know what I mean, like that, man, because there's so much of hate, and crab in the barrel stuff is crazy. Like you in there, you on the West Coast, I'm on the East Coast, but that don't stop what we doing just differently. You know what I mean? And it's just wish
Yeah.
we as men can get past that, man, and uplift each other.
People
Man.
don't. The thing is, people don't understand what it's like to not do that. Like, say for example, if somebody want to hate or somebody want to like have their own crew or want to gatekeep, I can't stand gatekeepers. If someone want to gatekeep, people don't understand like what it will be like if they didn't do that and they did the other way. Like, for example, say for example, if you hated was like, yeah, man, this dude, man, ain't even that funny, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Ain't talking about nothing, whatever. You could have hated, said that, but if you don't hate, now you get information that could probably help you or build or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like people don't think about what would happen if they didn't do that. Like for example, like if somebody like what I think, this is just my theory. I think it's very true. I think a big reason that people like don't do stand up is because, or people don't even follow their dreams, is because people don't understand what it's like to actually be there, and people aren't familiar with what it feels like. Like, say for example, you got a favorite food. Say, what's your favorite food?
I like Caribbean food.
What's your favorite food?
Caribbean food.
Okay. Say for example, say you like Caribbean food. You're gonna eat Caribbean food like a lot because you're familiar with how it makes you feel and what it does to you. So you know what to go for. So you're enticed to eat it. If you never did stand up, but you want to do it, you don't know what it feels like to be on stage and like a whole bunch of people laughing at your jokes that you just in your head. You don't know what it feels like to actually be like to be successful or anything, to be like, man, this feels good. You never felt it before. So people were like, they don't even want to go for it. And that's the same thing. Like what you were saying is people won't even go for it. There's like, there's like if someone's hating, they don't know what it's like to like not hate. Because if you don't hate me, you're going to win. Because I want you to win. You know what I mean? So if you're not hating, you're only going to win. But people don't understand that. People don't understand that.
And I met funnier people than me that would be great at stand-up, right?
Hell yeah, man! I got like 5 cousins that can do it easy. I got an uncle that can do it for sure. I know at least like 7, 8 people that can do it. I got an uncle that can do it for sure, and I got like 4 cousins that can do it, and a couple of my homies, without a doubt. But people don't look at it like that. They're thinking about, people think of other people versus themselves. Like me, I'm like, I want to do it, so it don't matter. Most people will be like, what are people going to think? Like, what are they going to think? It don't matter what the heck they think. I want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people
I want to do it, And
but yeah, a lot of people scared and like when I start seeing this, like I believe in marketing yourself and putting some jokes on the social media that's not really deep. Like I don't put my whole set on there. I had put the one that got banned for, but to put small clips of like the funnier parts on there, and I like to see the comments. I got a couple comments where people like, "Hey man, I see you getting better," or "Oh man, I didn't like the OJ joke. That OJ joke was kind of lame." Like, oh okay, I appreciate
That's good
that.
though. That's good though.
You might be fair. You might be scared to laugh because you might be in that situation, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really want to do the situation, like, but
the real reason, yeah.
So
that's good though.
I believe in marketing yourself on social media, and I feel like that's the half of the battle. Where a lot of older comedians that I talk to, man, say, man, I wish that was around for me because it might not took me as long because that social media is everything. I saw DC Young Fly do Vine videos calling people ugly.
Yeah.
And zoom up to Wildin' Out to Hip Hop Squares to more 85 South Show and stuff like that. So that you can't tell me the internet is not real.
Yeah, that's where everybody get popping at.
I see Kevin on the stage. Kevin on the stage, do it online for a long time. So you know what I mean. I've seen people firsthand doing hip hop that got solo concerts because they do music online. You know what I mean. Chloe and and Haley. I remember they was doing
Haley?
covers on YouTube, and Beyonce
Yeah.
signed them. So your opportunity can come from anywhere.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's super crazy. That's one of the crazy situations there is. Like Beyonce noticed him, and like that's crazy. Hopefully, hopefully it pop off. We just keep doing what we're doing. You know what I mean? It'll happen. It'll happen. It's only gonna happen as long as you don't stop. It's gonna happen. It's a matter of time. Keep doing open mics and obviously what I think is those competitions. I think that's where it gets. Because I'm doing a competition too. Next Thursday on the 10th. This place out here called Stir Crazy. They're doing like the funniest in the universe competition. It's like they got 90 people, so it's like 6 rounds, whatever. So my round is on Thursday the 10th, October 10th, whatever. So I think those will help a lot. So I'm ready for that. I gotta win that. I'm ready for that, man.
So what? Like, can you tell the same joke every round, or you guys come on with new stuff?
You know what? I don't know if it's my ADHD or what, but I feel weird saying jokes again, even if it's like I feel weird. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just feel I don't know. It feels weird inside. I always feel like I gotta go because last Wednesday I went and I did pretty good. I did really good actually. I went to Stir Crazy. I had a little 3-minute set, and it was another place right after I was gonna go. I ended up changing my mind, but if I went, I would have did a whole different set. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I can't explain it, but it's hard for me to do the exact same jokes. So I always got to do like something different. But I have a couple of jokes that if I'm kind of running out of stuff, I'll go to. Like, I'll go to and I'll kind of say those to feel like a minute or two. So I have stuff like that, but I'll kind of twist it around. I'll talk about my daughter a lot. I'll get her ass good. But other than that, though, I try not to say the same ones. There's nothing wrong, but I just don't feel comfortable with it for some reason. I don't even know why. You do?
But I don't know. I sometimes I do. I go to a feedback mic and sometimes they let me know. I think you should change this word right here, or I have had people help me with jokes. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid to say it. I had a guy help me out one time, or gave me a tag or something like that. But I go to feedback mics and sometimes I say a joke twice in the week, or come back to it the following week and see what they think is. You know what I mean? Did it get better or what? But that's what I did with my whole joke about my foot fetish. And I did the whole thing week. And I did it so much when I did my competition, I add towns into my joke. So like it was in Cecil County. So I said, man, I met this girl from Elkton. Her feet was like blah blah. You know what I mean? Then I add all the little towns with it. The attitude to make it personable. You know what I mean? And sometimes I ad-lib stuff. I add stuff to my jokes, and while I do it to make it fresher to me, to keep me more engaged. But yeah, man, I try to get it my joke the best I can get it for my level, or to make it better.
Yeah, for sure. Hold on, real quick. Hold
on. But all right, but man,
okay.
But we better get out of here.
I was gonna say I did. The only time I did. Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the only time I did, or I would do the same joke again, is the times that I felt I had like a really good joke. There's a couple of jokes that I got that for some reason don't land, but they're really good. Like, didn't land, so I said them again somewhere else. I'm like, nah, this is funny. Hell no, this is funny. They're gonna laugh at this. So I'll say it somewhere else, like the next day or something like that. I've done that. And then one joke I had, it didn't land twice. I was like, nah. I was like, no, this is a good joke. It's gonna land. So I knew where to take the joke, and it landed. It landed. That's the times I will say the same thing. If my joke don't land, I'm like, nah, forget all that. This is a good one. It's gonna land somewhere. I'll say it is.
So yeah, man, I believe in doing it over and over again. If it's a good one, like, but I'm trying some new stuff. Like again, this week I'm trying this joke, this premises, how
Yeah,
sex is different in your ages from 20 to 30 to 40, what the preparation
man,
is,
you
and
can get that one good. You can get that one
so
good.
and I'm
Get
using
that
kind
pen
of
out.
a couple basketball analogies like Jordan. You know how Jordan was in with the Wizards. Like that's how you gotta prepare for sex when you're in your 40s.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? A lot of pump fakes, and you know what I mean.
You can get that one good. You can get a good set out of that because
So
everybody gonna be able to relate to that. Men and
I'm ready.
women. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
men and women. So
Yeah, that's gonna work a lot because every single person in the audience has been through it. And not only
mhm.
that, you're going to talk from a male perspective, so the males are going to get it, and the women are going to remember it from their experiences with men when they were in their 20s
Mhm.
and 30s. So
Mhm.
that's a good one. That's the kind of stuff I try to think of when I write, like what's going to get everybody, what's everybody going to be able to relate to. That's a really good premise. That's going to work. Mark my words.
So
that's going.
I'm writing that out. So I'm just write that
That's
shit
going.
out, and I'm trying to get to the point where I just write a lot of relationship stuff, so I can get
Yeah.
to that level. I can talk that Wu Tang, protect your neck. You know what I mean? So
You
and
got it.
then
You just keep doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. You obviously you're getting better. I mean, shoot, when I first heard you, I was like, you're good, but then you remember I told you I was like, I can tell you've been working on your craft, and your delivery is a lot better. The punches come cleaner. You know what I mean? And like I was able to tell. Like I think the last one I saw, I was able to see your patience because I think one of the first ones I saw, you didn't rush, but you were a lot more patient. You were like you said the joke, you let him get the laughs in, and you almost waited till everybody was done laughing. Then you came with the next one. I was like, that's real good. That's just growth. And it's going to keep happening because you're going to keep doing it. And if you watch your stuff and you get feedback, you know what I mean? If you're around the right people, you're going to keep growing. It
so
ain't
yeah,
going to stop.
that's yeah. So that's what I've been on, man. But man, let the people know where that show is. Your social
Oh,
media,
oh,
if they're around your area, so they go check you out.
yeah, yeah. Well, obviously I'm Rufus Mic. I'm indecisive too because I produce. I do beats too on. I got the Instagram as well. But that show is going to be on Thursday, October 10th. That's stir crazy.
Mhm.
It should be like it's 15 performers. I don't know when I go up, but it's 15 performers. It's the first round of the competition. I'm trying to do some motivational speaking there, but I gotta do I'm gonna probably do some motivational comedy, honestly. So it should be good. I'm ready. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it actually. I think that'd be a big thing.
Make sure you go check out Rufus Mike on
Please.
his Instagram, uh,
It's Mike.
everywhere you can find him on social media. If you're in the Arizona area, home of Walmart, check him out. His comedy competition and check him out overall, man. He's a good brother, man. I appreciate you, man. Just the time you do give me a
Of
millisecond
course.
of
Of
this
course.
conversation. I appreciate that, man. And it's been
Of
another
course. Of
episode of
course.
Ron
And if
Uncensored
anybody
Podcast. Go ahead.
real quick, if anybody trying to for your listeners, if anybody trying to do any kind of comedy or stand-up comedy or speak in any way, just remember, and I said this on my IG before, just remember that you're not going to be bad, you're just going to be a beginner. You know what I mean? So if you're worried about how good you're going to be or people going to dismiss you, you're just going to be a beginner. All beginners are not good. That's the whole point of being a beginner and getting better. And people in the crowd are there to enjoy themselves, and no one's there to heckle you. No one's there to hope you do bad. Everybody wants you to do good, have a good time. If you do good, if you don't do good, they're gonna tell you good job. I wouldn't do that, So you're gonna win no matter what. So just go for it. Just go for it. Even you can
Keep
hit
on
me,
giving
hit
the
my
bite.
DM, whatever. I don't know who you are. Shoot, I got you.
Keep on
It's
giving the
all
bite
win.
and keep on giving the bite
Everybody
and
win.
falling off and keep on giving the bite.
Yeah.
But
Everybody win.
again, everybody win and let's have a good rest of 2024. It's Rod Uncensored.
Appreciate
And,
you. Appreciate you having me on. So I didn't get to say that. My bad. I appreciate you having me on. I really, really appreciate that. I really, really do. Really,
and
really
his
love
his
sharing my perspective.
podcast coming soon too. Rufus Mike's podcast coming soon.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Putting pressure on me. Okay. I'm ready then. All right. I appreciate that. You're my first guest too. That's
All
my
right,
word.
you know,
That's my word.
we can do that. And I hope for everybody have a good night,
So
have a good week, and we out of here.